All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about small business marketing that no one is talking about. Right now, everybody is talking about AI this, AI that. But what I want to show you is something that is so fundamental. Most small businesses that's been in business for the past couple of years should have database, right? They have either a phone number or email list of their past customers, or maybe they have um, accumulated leads that they've spent money on, but they're not doing anything with it. And so in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a list, whether it's your past customers or a list that you have. In this case, we're going to take a customer that has a list of over close to about 460 leads that they've compiled or they've gotten, and we're going to simply do what's called a an email and text message campaign. And so there's basically comprised of 4 steps. Okay, and we're going to go over it step by step, and hopefully this will help you to go through this with our platform Pro360. And if you do have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll be more than willing to either execute it for you, or if you have any questions, please get with us. Okay. The first thing is we're going to have to prepare your list to import. And so we're going to figure out what information to include and also the tags. All right. And so um, let's go and take a look at this example of a database. So in this database, we have first name, last name, email, phone number, and a bunch of other information as you can see here. And so what I've done is we've looked at it, and based on the information, the most important information that you want to import is the first name, last name, the email, um, phone number, and then of course any note. And so we came down to exactly how they came into the database and any other pertinent information. And that was basically all in this column right here. It's called important notes. And so we've decided to import those information. And so what we've done is we're going to delete all the other columns that we don't need, and then going to create a new working um, database list. And let me show you that. All right, so what I've done is we've created another database, and we call this working because we're going to be working off of this database. And as you can see here, there's first name, last name, and then there's another column, first name, last name. And I'll explain exactly why we did that. And there's an email, phone number, and the important note column right there. And this is going to be the one that we're working off of. And the reason we have the first name and last name is because um, if you look at this, if I'm going to highlight this, and right now it's blurred out, but I'm going to show you what this is. And this is a formatting because it's proper. So what is proper? What does that do, right? So there may be some fields in here where all the words are capital, or their last name is all lower caps. What this does is that it um, puts it in proper format. So meaning the first letter capitalized and then the rest lower caps. I do that to just clean up the database. And so because we want to make sure that we input all of the names with the proper formatting. And so what I do is when we copy this over, then it just calculates which is A2 right here, which is column A, line 2, and then as you can see here is proper B2. And so what I do is I basically copy and paste all of the contacts, and basically it puts it into the right format. And then I create another Excel spreadsheet. When then all I do is I copy the value from this database to the other database that I'm going to use to import into Pro360. All right. So basically, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the other database that you are importing only has first name, last name, email, phone number, and a column called note. So as you can see here, I have a blank CSV file, and this is a database list, and I call it group one, and I put the date on top, as you can see here. This is for me to get organized as I'm importing, because when I import into Pro 360, I do it in a group initially. When in order to test it, you want to do it in increments of tens, okay? And so and I'll explain why. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other list that I have, and let me. All right, so here I'm going to use an example of, let's just say this person put all caps Joe and then all lower caps Smith, right? That. So what proper does is that if you put in proper and then go click on Joe, oops, maybe that's okay, and put 820 to 20 and then press enter. As you can see, it capitalize the first letter and then lower caps the rest. Okay. And then let's say I copy and paste that. And as you can see, Joe Smith, and it capitalized the first, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this information, and let's go and copy. And then let me go to the other sheet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do paste special. If you click on paste special, and oops, just going to click on paste special, and then we're going to do value, right? And you click OK. And so what that does is it copies the value and not the formula. And so you do that for all of, let's just say 10, 50, whatever number of contacts, and then that's what the information you're going to import into Pro 360. And so lastly, after you have a list that you want to import, you want to make sure that you save it as a CSV file, all right? All right, so before we import into Pro 360, one of the things that you must do is figure out how you're going to tag these contacts. And I think that's very fundamental, and try to simplify the tagging. As you can see here, we've included as contact um, the buyer's lead. We also put the lead date, and I'll explain why we put the date of the lead. And then we also have a lead buyer, lead seller. Okay. Um, and so once you have that, you can kind of figure out how you're going to tag and add and remove the tags as you are processing the workflow. Okay. So let's go ahead and proceed to start importing the contacts into Pro 360. All right, so the next portion is to have a campaign set up. We have some template campaigns that we already have in our system, but of course you have the freedom to modify the campaign. Generally, what we initially like to do is we like to send a text message and follow it up with an email. But it all depends on how you want to approach it. And so in this particular case, what we've decided was that we're going to send the text message first initially, and then send a follow-up email plus text message the following day, as you can see here, one day. So when we are importing the contacts, we are putting the date of the contacts, because what we want to do is, because this is a new campaign with a new client, we want to make sure that our system is you're sending out appropriate text message and emails appropriately. So we want to make sure that we're following up and making sure that all of the campaigns are going and triggering properly. And so we're going to do it 10 at a time initially. Okay. And we're going to tag them on the date of the database that, as you saw before, we have the tag with the database date. Okay. And so I'll explain to you how we're going to do that. Okay, so here we have a workflow. So as they're coming into the workflow, they're going to get tagged lead, buyer, and then they're going to get also tagged as a newsletter. So this is a newsletter, basically a universal tag that everybody's going to get tagged so that they can send out emails in the future to the whole list. Okay. And this one right here is a wait trigger. I put in there 5 minutes, could be 1 minute, 2 minute. And I put this wait state only to put in here an option so that the workflow will trigger only from Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 here. Okay. And then a text message goes out. And then this basically is a condition. So basically, if there is no email, then they are going to, if the email is not empty, they go down this workflow. If the email is empty, then they're going to go down this flow. Okay. And so as you can see here, the tag is removed. And then I usually put in a wait state here. I'm going to change this to 30 days because this campaign is taking a little bit longer than to execute. So, and then a day later, what's going to happen is an email goes out, and then 5 minutes later, a text message goes out thereafter. And then the remove tag is there. And then I put in here a wait state. As you can see here, I updated it to 30 days. And so they're just going to go down here after 10 days. Not a big deal. I put these wait state here so that way I can see who's actually in the workflow or not. Okay. All right, so one of the couple of things that we need to make sure that, especially if you are dealing with leads that of people that have never contacted you. So what we usually like to do is this is something that you have to contact us if you're running campaigns that you most likely are of leads that you've never contacted before. It's been a while since you've contacted them. What we like to do is if you look at this first initial email, a text message that's going out, right? We usually like to put in here this reply out and I will probably remove you. And the reason we put that is because if you use the default setting in our system, okay, let me go to, if you go to the phone settings and under advanced, right, you want to make sure that you have this checked off. So basically what this does is that this will make sure that the number is valid before sending out the first text message. And then the other thing that you want us to get in contact with us is making sure that we turn this off. Okay. Normally we turn this on as default because we want to make sure that any new text message that goes out, we have this reply stop to unsubscribe, right? But when you're running a campaign where you're sending a large number of initial contact of whether it's cold leads or whether it's leads that you have or clients that you haven't contacted in a couple of years, we want to use a soft opt out of out because if you use this and people start unsubscribing by typing in stop, the carrier will restrict you and you will basically your text message line will get affected. So we make sure that we do that, and please do get in touch with us to take that into effect. And then the other thing is that we've implemented a system where we have different stages of of um, of restrictions so that we can ramp up your messaging. We also have restrictions with regard to your email to make sure that you're not spamming. And so if you go beyond certain guidelines, the system will restrict you. Right. So if you do get those notifications, please get in touch with us, and so we will show you what the best protocols or best guidelines are. All right, so let's go to importing the contacts. Okay, so once you go to contacts and then you're going to click on import contacts. And so Once you click on that, you're going to come to the screen and it's you importing contacts, and then you click next, and then you're going to upload the contact. So you can either click upload or you can drag the file. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to drag the file over, and there we go, right? And then you're going to click next. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we all the fields are mapped. And so you got to make sure that they're mapped. And so you see right here, it says pending. This one, you just want to make sure that it's mapped to email. And then once everything is mapped, you're going to click next. And then what you want to do here is you want to add a tag. And so as I said before, we're going to add the tag. We're going to add this tag right here. All right, so lastly, you just want to make sure you click on it says, I confirm all contacts have consented to hear from us. And so this is very important. And you want to make sure you have some documentation that they've consent, they have, basically opted in to you. Okay. And then click start bulk import, and there you go. So how do you check the progress of this the action that you just taken importing? So you go to bulk actions right here, and as you can see, it's processing 76%. All right, so while this is processing, one of the things I would like to mention here is that you want to go and check the stats once it's completed. Check the stats, and because sometimes there are errors that you need to go look at. As you can see here, there is 4 errors that were basically there's something wrong with the information that's being imported, and you have to go look and take a look at what is wrong with those information. Um, as you can see here, there's a error right here. And so what I would do is I would go find this contact in the database and then see what's wrong with it. Sometimes it doesn't pick it up for whatever reason. Then you have to do it, input them manually, and then that's it. Okay, so in this case, there's 4. But if there's a lot of errors, then you may have to look and see what you're doing wrong importing. You may be inputting the column improperly, and so that's one way to check for errors. All right. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the people that have been imported so far, and so I'm going to select the 10 that I have imported right here. And then we're going to add them into that automation. So if you click on add to automation here, and what we're going to do is we're going to call it campaign, and then I call it group 1. So I'm going to do in batches group 1, group 2, group 3, and then I put today's date, 18, and then I'm going to add them to the sync follow up, and I'm going to add it all at once. If you want to schedule it, if you're doing a whole bunch at a time, then you want to maybe possibly schedule it or set it up in drip mode. But right now I'm doing some manual testing, and I'll exactly show you why this is important. So, all right, so I'm going to add them to the campaign, and I'm just going to dismiss it. And then I'm going to go to back to the automation. All right, so as you can see here, there are 11. I thought I did 10, but I did 11. Okay. And so for testing purposes, it is within, 9 to 5. So it's close to 4:44, but we're going to go ahead and push them through. Okay. And then I'm going to select all 11. And then if you click on this, they're going to be moved to the next step. Okay. Then move all. And then I'm just going to refresh the screen. And as you can see, they all went through right here. There's 15 here, but because I've added four contacts before, the four contacts that you saw before that were errors, I actually added them, and that's why they're here. So one of the things that you want to be checking when these text message goes out. So when I click on SMS and then go to statistics, and then as you can see here, if you click on view details, and I'll explain to you what's going on here. Okay. So previously, I've been working on this. We've been working on this for the past couple of days. And so I want to show you exactly what had happened at the very beginning when we started this campaign. So if I go back to the very beginning and let's click on this. Actually, let me go to failed, right? Because these have actually been all delivered. Go to the failed, and if I click on here, as you can see right here, I was getting these errors, and this was happening at the very beginning. I was getting a lot of these error 30007. And what was happening was the SMS, I included a link, a website link, and whether that website link is possibly uh, a um, a link that the website or the carriers didn't like, or they didn't like the fact that the URL link was there. Not 100% sure. So what I did was we went back into the SMS message and we got rid of that link, and we kind of we redid the SMS copy to shorten it and to make it a little bit, without the link. And so since then, we have not been getting any error. Um, we just have this error message. This one is today. There's a landline unreachable out of this is what happens when you are sending out text message to cold list that you've gotten. Maybe you ran ads or something, and they put in fake numbers. And so the good thing about this is that if you put the number intelligence, what I showed you before, what we'll do is it'll actually set the do not disturb on these contacts. And then let me show you what exactly happens. Okay. So here's a contact. And if you look at, so we went into this specific contact, and as you can see that this is error 30006. This is probably a landline that they put in, or maybe it's a fake number, whatever the case. If it's unsuccessful, the system will automatically put DND, do not disturb, so that we are not going to be sending text messages to this contact. And if they did put an email, I can see that they put some weird email address. So this is probably a fake, or somebody, that put in some, fake contact information. And so the system does this automatically. And then also if people opt out by typing it out, the system will automatically also opt out, or put do not disturb for the specific contact. Lastly, what we want to do is we want to check the messaging limit. And as you can see here, um, we started off at 250, and right now it looks like it sent 8 valid messages. So what we want to do is we want to try to go to the next level and send out 242 within 24 hours within today. And so you want to try to get to a certain level so that you can send as many text messages as you can, so that you're compliant within our system, as well as the mobile carriers as well. All right. So the next day, what's going to happen is the email is going to go out, and then a follow-up text message is going to go out. So with the emails, the system has a built-in unsubscribe, so that if they do want to unsubscribe, the system will automatically unsubscribe them. So we don't have to worry about that. So how do you deal with the people that are responding to you for whatever matter. In this case, what we did was all the emails that are going out, what we did was all the replies are going to be sent to the client's email that they're monitoring and not within the system. So it depends on how you want to set up within Pro 360. If you want the emails, if you want the emails to be sent directly to the Pro 360 within the system, you can do that, or you can have it sent to the email of your choice that you're monitoring. Okay.